Hello my fellow chef knives enthusiasts. In this video I'm going to show you two really beautiful Damascus knives made by Shoichi Hashimoto, a relatively young blacksmith. He was born in 1982 in Hiroshima. He has attended the University of Hiroshima and obtained a degree in art and modeling. Shoichi Hashimoto's master was Takanori Mikami, who is a sword maker, and together they have created many different art pieces. It wasn't until quite recently, a couple of years ago, I think maybe 4 or 5 years ago, that Hashimoto decided to dive into the world of kitchen knives. But when he did, he made sure that he understood everything that goes into making a successful chef knife. Taper, heat treatment, perfect finished grinds. He has studied it all and perfected it. And these knives are living proof. Unfortunately, these are not my knives. They are from Kevin DeLeo. He borrowed me some of his top pieces for you to unbox after I did that video at his home the other day, where I unboxed more than 100 knives. In this box I have 2 coreless twist gyutos, and I will explain more about what that is after I unbox these knives.
I guess I have to unbox myself then?
I'm loving these traditional Japanese type of octagonal handles. This dark, murdered out ebony wood, black buffalo horn, nickel spacers. Wow! Now this is a Damascus knife. Damn. And it was just knife number 1. I have another one over here. Would you look at this handle? I'm not sure what type of wood this is, but it has this tiger stripes like pattern. It's not as heavy as the ebony handle. I think I've never seen such a beautiful buffalo horn ferrule and bottom cap before. Especially the bottom cap on this handle is gorgeous. Wow. Just based on the handles, I would prefer this knife already. Although this murdered out dark look is pretty cool. For me it's the weight. I like my knives to be light. Just the weight of this handle makes the knife a little bit back heavy, and I prefer my knives front heavy. But let's not judge a knife just by its handle. Let's have a look what's underneath this sheath. What? Wow! I'm getting troll killer vibes over here. Are you kidding me? See what I'm talking about? This Damascus pattern is insane. Wow. I think I still love my Niigata Troll Killer Damascus just a tad bit more, but boy does this one come close. This is one of the most beautiful Damascus knives I've had in my hands. The Shoichi Hashimoto coreless twist blades were made from a combination of blue number 2 and white number 2 steel. Blue number 2 is a high carbon steel, known for its ability to hold a sharp edge, while white number 2 is a slightly lower carbon steel, which is more durable and is easier to sharpen. These knives are constructed using a coreless twist design, which means that the blades don't have a traditional core of harder steel, like in semi-steel where you have one layer of core steel and then cladded on both sides with softer iron. With these knives, both steels used are twisted during the forging process to create a pattern that runs all the way through the blade. Obviously these two knives are gyutos, which are similar in shape and function to a Western chef knife. These are 24mm blades. Some people prefer maybe a 210 or maybe even a 180, but yeah, 240mm is usually the sweet spot for a lot of chefs. These are two knives of the same shape, profile, same construction, same steel, same maker, but they don't really look the same. It's like giving one recipe to 2 chefs and you get 2 different plates of food. This is like the same recipe from the same chef. But if I look closely, I can definitely see they are made exactly the same way. The patterns are very similar actually. On this knife, the Damascus pattern is super subtle and the blade itself has more like a mirror polish. With this blade, the Damascus is really visible, really outspoken. It has great contrast and the knife blade itself is a little bit more matte. Other than just the difference in visual appearance of the Damascus on these blades, they are pretty much identical. Blade geometry is pretty much identical. Of course, the profiles. Taper on the spines, pretty much identical. It's definitely clear to me that these are both made by Shoichi Hashimoto. I'm just that much of a sucker for Demis that I personally like this one a little bit more. Like everybody on Instagram, this knife just wants to have your attention. And this knife, it's a little bit more laid back. It's not a show off as much as this one. But boy, it's still really beautiful. Shoichi Hashimoto is definitely a gifted Damascus artist. If these blades don't prove it, I don't know what will. I'm not surprised that he is considered to be one of the best Damascus knife artists in Japan.
Good for him.
If I would have a heavy prep day in the kitchen, have a lot of things going on and need to move fast, I would just grab one of my workhorses, rush through it and call it a day. I would surely not bring out one of these. But if I do a private chef gig at somebody's home, I'm bringing out my show ponies. The Shoichi Hashimoto coreless twist Damascus knives surely are in that show pony category. I'm just gonna use this knife as the example for both because they're practically the same. Fit and finish on these knives, pretty much flawless, nothing I can fault. Loving this little machi gap on this one. This one doesn't have a machi gap, this one has. I kinda like the look of the machi gap, some people don't. It's just preference. The taper on this spine is just a beautiful example of a distal taper. It's beautiful, it's perfect. The whole blade geometry and S geometry gives me Matsumoto KS vibes, and that's always a good thing. Overall, the Shoichi Hashimoto coreless twist Damascus knives are just beautiful high-end Japanese knives. These are clearly beautiful pieces of art, are surely impressing me, and I think these will impress most serious chefs and knife collectors. I don't know the exact retail prices on these blades, but I suspect these are a little bit up north of $1,800 US. These are definitely not accessible to just anyone, I guess. I surely have to think hard about buying one of these knives before I actually pull the trigger, because this would be like 2 months of rent for me. Do I think they are worth it? Absolutely. Value is perception, and I perceive these as true pieces of art. And yeah, you gotta pay the artist, man. You gotta respect all the work, skills, craftsmanship, passion, all the time and effort that is put into blades like this. But I would definitely not recommend these knives to anybody who struggles to pay the rent.
Yeah, pay your rent. It's important.
I'm aware that with these type of high-end Damascus knives, you mostly pay for the looks. And for people who are not sucker for demis like me, these are probably just very overpriced knives. And believe me, I get that. It doesn't matter how beautiful this Damascus pattern is and how many layers it has. It definitely doesn't make it a better performing knife, and it surely doesn't make you a better cook. You can get knives around the price point of $300 US that will perform just as good as these knives, but they won't look like these knives though. And that's just the thing. It's okay to pay for a good looking thing, right? People are doing it all the time. And these knives sure look good to me. If you have $1,800-ish US laying around, I can imagine you pull the trigger on one of these. I'm gonna need a lot more subscribers on my YouTube channel. Maybe one day. You never know.